Good afternoon, guys. It's Monday. You're supposed to be seeing this upload this past weekend. Unfortunately, just things have just been crazy. I've been busy working, as usual, just doing different stuff. But we're finally getting back to work on this car, and we have made a little progress on it. But I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna cut to the chase and just get to it. No BSing around this time, but we're finally getting somewhere. I've got my alternator. I got my air conditioning bracket, my power steering pump bracket. I've got all that together. I'm missing one piece here. A friend of mine happens to have that part. This whole thing will be complete as far as the front engine accessory drive. It'll all be complete. I put some radiator fluid in it and fire it up, get it to operating temp, see what she does, and if it runs great, to the exhaust shop she goes to get my exhaust welded up. I've got an off-brand. I don't know what brand H pipe this is, but it's an off-road H pipe for long tubes. And I've got Flowmaster 2-chamber 40 series Flowmasters that I've had on this car for years. So I think it's pretty nostalgic for this car to have all of that. And it's just going to have that old school sound. I can't wait. But the car is mechanically sound otherwise, guys. It's just wires hanging around here. I just need to fix up a few things. Little stuff here that I'm looking for is these place to put these salt shakers. I don't know where to put them. That's one of the things that I don't have. But the reason I'm missing that part, because the donor car that I got all these parts from was in a car wreck, and it literally shifted everything over to the right. So it ruined the power steering pump brackets and all that. So I'm having to get all that stuff, and it's just taking a little time. But I want to get on that too. I want to talk about FoxBody safety and what all that entails. What all I have done to this car this past year, and I want to say thank you to those faithful subscribers. Very little, but hey, I want to say thank you to those who have been faithful and watch my videos, and I'm very, very happy about it. But the few things that I've learned that you just don't need to cheap out on, and I'm gonna go ahead and just go over that right quick, and I'm gonna sit down and talk to you about this one. So I'm gonna aim the camera down, and hopefully you guys will see what I'm talking about. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully the quality is good. But there's things on these cars you don't need to cheap out on. Mainly it's just your safety parts, as far as your fuel lines. Don't cheap out on that, because I learned my lesson. I'll go ahead and point it out to you right now. It was this fuel line right here. I'll bring it. Oh. This fuel line right here that I've got, it's the original style. Yeah, it's already got brackets made on it, which was easy to put on the car. But this is my culprit. This is where these lines right here, they bolt up to the fuel rails, to the engine, and when I would apply pressure, these lines would leak, and one of the lines leaked and almost burned my car down. So I decided to go ahead and get new fuel lines for it, and That's just something you don't cheap out on. I mean, I'd rather spend $450 to $500 on fuel lines than having to replace the whole car. You know, having to rebuild it all over again just because of some stupid, what do you call it, a detour or cut that should not have been made. So fuel lines are definitely a safety issue with these cars. Make sure that your fuel lines are in really good shape. The rubber parts. You want to make sure that's a very important part, because you know they leak, fuel gets on a hot wire, starts a fire, and then there goes your pride and joy, like that. So that out of the way. Another thing too that I would not cheap out on is your engine harness, and that's another thing too that's misleading on these engine harnesses. They all may look the same when you look at them, but another thing we'll say is, like this engine harness right here. This car is a 92. Luckily, my donor car was a 92. So what I'm saying is, like, there's different, like your fuel pump relays. They were the early models, like the 86 through 80. I think it's 86 through 89. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or 90. The fuel pump relay was located under the seat. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the 91s. I'm not sure where they were at, but they were 1 year only. The 92s and 3s, the fuel pump relay is right here on the passenger side firewall. But just make sure you're getting the right year model for your FoxBody, and just I would purchase that new instead of getting that out of a donor car. Because the reason I say that is because you when you pull that engine harness out, you're pulling, you're tugging, and you might be pulling something apart that you don't know about. But when you get ready to hook the car up, things might not work properly. Luckily, I'm fortunate that everything works on this car. But that's another thing that I would not crap out on. Just don't cheap out on that. It's just two of your main parts there, and of course your brakes and stuff. But luckily my brakes still work. But I do need to work on this one time, because I do remember the left rear would lock up with me. That's the last time I drove it. But it still has brakes, but I'm going to go through them, and we're going to go through this car and build it right. But that's just two of the main things there. Just watch your wiring, and just watch your fuel lines. But that's really all I've got but on this one. But in the next upload, guys, you're going to be seeing this bracket and all put up. And the next video, you may be seeing me drive this thing. So the 24th might be looking like a really good day for us. But if you've stuck around, I really do appreciate you watching this video. Please, FoxBody safety, please take it seriously, because it's really about protecting you. But I hope you've enjoyed this upload, guys. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe, and have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.